All right, we are recording. Welcome to High Speed Healing Wednesdays. Today, I'm so grateful you're all here, really. It's been quite a week, hasn't it? And I went back and forth debating whether I was even going to do the call today, quite honestly. And I was meditating this morning and felt, there were so many of you that had emailed in and that wanted to do the call today. And so I decided to go ahead. But just so you know, I'm going to do a special meditation tomorrow at 4 p.m., a healing meditation that I'll guide you through, that's for planetary and personal healing, health, and harmony. Because this has just been, to me, completely appalling what's going on. And I know, I want to do my part, and I know you do too. And so the least I can do, and the first thing that came to me when I looked at, well, what can I do to help, is offer meditation and guide people through into a state of calm and peace and harmony, because we know that all peace, whether we're talking about weight or money or pain, physical pain or emotional pain or relationships or careers or world peace, it all starts in me. It all starts within me, and it's one person at a time, and the inner peace reflects in the outer. And what we see in the outer is a state, it's a reflection of our consciousness. So I'll be emailing you tomorrow, first thing in the morning, how to get on the call tomorrow for the meditation. But I'm so glad you're here today. And thank you for supporting High Speed Healing Wednesdays. Keep sending in the topics. Thanks to all of you who have sent in the different topics that you'd like me to cover and the questions that you have. Some great ones came in today. And today we're talking about, oh my goodness, the war with weight, right? Food sensitivities. What do I eat? Why does my stomach always hurt? Why can't I lose weight no matter what I try? I exercise all day and I still can't lose the weight. I've been told it's my hormones, it's genetic, all these things that you've been telling me, right? Can you guys relate? Give me a yes, give me some hearts. Give me a yes if you can relate, if you can hear me, and if you're with me. And those of you on the call today, thanks, Rachel. Hi, Rachel. Those of you in my private Zoom room, you can, if questions come up while we're on the call today, feel free to type those questions either into the chat or if you look at the bottom of your screen, there's something that says Q&A. You can type right into the Q&A as well, and I'll be checking those throughout the call today. Now, I'm glad you can relate. Well, I'm not glad you can relate, Nancy and Fran and Sheila and Rachel and Bev and all those of you raising your hand on Facebook. I'm sorry you can relate, because I have experienced early in my life a lot of challenges with weight, believe it or not. I know that today I'm stabilized and I feel good about my body, and I get compliments about my body. And sometimes people assume it's always been like this and that it was easy for me. So let me just share a little bit with you. So my nickname when I was a kid, ready for this? It was Butterball. Yes, you heard that right, Butterball. No, I didn't eat butter, even though today I do eat butter. I love butter. But I had rolls of fat. And of course, when you're really little, they think it's so cute and everybody wants to pinch you, which I found very obnoxious. And there was a lot of focus on what I ate. Now, I didn't know this at the time. My father was a compulsive overeater, but I didn't know what that was growing up. And for whatever reason, he would watch me eat, and he either always criticized what I ate or focused on what I ate or told me what I should eat, what I shouldn't eat, that I was doing it wrong. He wanted some of mine. It was just, I felt like I was under a microscope, and that he was always commenting on my weight. And I felt growing up, especially in high school years, junior high and high school, I would look around at my friends and they were models. They were doing modeling and all these things. And even though I was dancing, I was training as a ballet dancer at the time, I couldn't lose weight. And I felt really fat and ugly and heavy and uncomfortable in my body. I did not feel attractive. I didn't, I saw my girlfriends having boyfriends and all of that. And I just felt like something was wrong with me. And I, I was very uncomfortable in my skin. And so as time went on, I started experimenting with these diets. I'll never forget my father and I did this grapefruit diet. And all you ate was grapefruits the whole day long. You can only do that for so long before you never want to look at a grapefruit again. Anybody done any of those fad diets? I tried all kinds of things. And then I started measuring my food. And I thought, certain foods were dangerous. So I counted calories. I wouldn't go near oil of any kind. Now, let me tell you, if you don't have any fats in your system, you are going to not be a healthy person. And that's what happened. So Allie is saying I've done all of those. Yeah. Oh, goodness. And then I drank those shakes and I fasted and I did water fast and I tried only eating uh, rice and beans, and oh my God, I could go on and on with the stories. And then once I started getting more serious about my dance training, I was obsessed with being skinny, and there was a certain weight they wanted you to be because you needed to be lighter on your feet and would perform better if you were less weight. And so I would weigh myself all day long. I drank water instead of eating. And let me just share with you, the worst it got was I was 72 pounds finally. Okay, but it came from starvation. 72 pounds. And Jennifer saying thank you. Hi, Jennifer, love you. So 72 pounds, my leotards were bagging on me. Okay, they were baggy and I was afraid to eat. And I would wait all day long, and sometimes I would be dancing, rehearsing, and taking classes that were very physically, athletically challenging for 10 hours a day, and I wouldn't eat. I would sometimes eat a little piece of cheese or a yogurt, and then I would eat a salad at night. I mean, this was an insane lifestyle, okay? And I just want to tell you, if you can relate to this, it takes its toll on you physically, mentally, emotionally. I was exhausted. I'll never forget towards the end of this lovely journey, I was so weak that I had to hold myself up on the wall to take a shower because I couldn't take a shower without, I was just so weak and exhausted. First thing in the morning, I was just worn out. And and I tried things like purging and throwing up. I actually tried to have a girlfriend teach me how to throw up so I could eat and get it out, and I couldn't throw up. So this is a form of insanity. And I want to share with you, I think what I really want to convey with you today. And by the way, you want to stay till the end today because I'm going to take you through a very powerful guided healing meditation that addresses all of this. But the key point that I want to make is that focusing on weight or food is never going to solve the problem. The problem wasn't my weight. The problem wasn't what I ate. The problem wasn't how much I weighed or how much I should weigh or how much I thought I weighed. The problem was much deeper. And it always is. Now, those of you that are new, my specialty is helping people who suffer from all types of pain, chronic physical pain, acute pain from accidents and injuries, pain from emotional pain like depression, anxiety, trauma from childhood, trauma from your past, the pain of things like relationships or finances or romances or weight, binge eating, all of these things are painful. And my specialty, though, is going deeper beyond the symptoms, down deep into the hidden reasons that we have this pain and symptoms to begin with. So I'd like to just see, I'd like to get a vote here and type it into the chat or in the Facebook, please. What do you think some of the deeper reasons for weight issues, for food sensitivities, if you just were to take a guess, what do you think some of the deeper issues that I had that were going on that would have caused my need to focus on my weight all the time and my body? Lack of self-love, Nancy said. Bingo, that's a big one. Self-esteem, Meg, spot on. Yes, wow, I'm hearing that Satara ate tissue when she was young to not put on weight. Incredible. Liz is saying, wait, where did she go? Self-soothing with food. Yes, emotional eating, eating food to try to comfort your emotional pain. How many of you grew up in a house where when you were upset or angry or sad or whatever emotion was coming up, how many of you got rewarded with a cookie, with ice cream, with some kind of treat? If you were good, how many of you were given a treat, right? Yes, Fran said. If you stop that, I'll give you dessert. How many of you were punished? I'll take away your dessert if you don't stop that, or do your homework and then you can have the ice cream, stuff like that, right? Any of you have that? Let's see, we're here. Oh, these are great ones. Need for protection. Yes. Self-loathing coupled with parental habits. Lack of control of emotions. These are great. You guys are right on. Lori is saying, I'm not good enough. Tammy, emotional pain. You are spot on, everybody. These are the deeper reasons that we put on weight, that contribute to emotional eating, to binge eating, to denying ourselves food at all. Think about this. If you don't love yourself, are you going to nourish and nurture yourself in healthy ways? Are you going to give yourself things that help you feel good? Or are you perhaps going to punish yourself because you don't like yourself, because you don't feel you deserve to feel good? Think about that. It's very powerful. Now, I want to say something here. This is not your fault. Please, there's no blame here. There's absolutely no judgment here if you've done this to yourself or if you experience this. Now, Dawn is saying abuse and loss. We were not allowed to eat things. Yeah, this is my next thing that I wanted to bring up today, which is abuse. If you grew up in a household where there was a lot of criticism, if there was abuse of any kind, like physical, mental, emotional abuse, if even in a household where there was just nobody was home, maybe you were left alone a lot, nobody was there for you, nobody supported your dreams, nobody nurtured you, nobody cared when you cried. Maybe they left you crying and said, get over that, grow up, be a big girl, big boys don't cry, right? My mother used to say, I'll show you something to cry about, I'll give you something to cry about, okay? And these types of responses, they go deep. Yeah, they go deep and they can leave scars that we need to heal. Now, you cannot beat yourself up for the environment that you grew up in and that you were soaking in. The environment that surrounds us, and by that I mean the people, the caretakers, the people you spent your time with, the things you heard, what they said to you, what they did to you, what they demonstrated to you by their own actions, by their own words, by the relationships you saw between your parents or between the people you lived with, your siblings, how they treated your siblings, how they treated you. All of these things factor into how we feel about ourselves and what we learn to believe with our mind that's true, even if it isn't true for everybody. But it may have been true for us at the time because that's how we survived the environment we were in. We grow to adopt and learn the belief systems of the people we are around, whether they're healthy or not. And here's the other thing. even if you grew up in a family where people were breaking things and screaming and yelling and it was disastrous, you imprinted that as home and as love. That's what love looked like. That's what home felt like. That was real for you. And so later in life, it could be 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years later, your young little 6-year-old could still be acting as if that same belief system and emotional fear was needed, because you installed those things as a safety mechanism to keep you safe. For example, if there was a lot of abuse, maybe you turned into a people pleaser. Maybe you were scared for a good reason, okay? And so then you found comfort in that macaroni and cheese, comfort in the ice cream and cake. Maybe, someone was physically abusive, and told you you're just worthless, stupid, and they shamed you. So maybe you started depriving yourself of nourishment, of food, of the things that calmed you down. And maybe you're still doing that years and years later, but you don't even remember why. You don't even know why you do that. And you can't stop when you try to stop. Or if you try to stop, it either doesn't last long, or it's not lasting change, or it doesn't change you at all, or it leaves and then comes back. So I hear this a lot from people where they say, why, one of the questions that came in today, in fact, it was that I hear a lot, which is, well, I try X, Y, and Z, and it works for a little while, but then my weight comes back, or the pain or the problem comes back. And that's why you still feel stuck. Are you guys with me? Give me a yes, some hearts, some thumbs up if you are with me, please. And yeah, okay, great. Meg, Allie, Bev, Chloe. Hi, Chloe, Tammy. Oh, so many people are relating. Yeah, I'm glad, but I'm sorry that you're relating. I sneak food. Oh my God. So I forgot all about that. Thank you for reminding me. So I used to sneak, my mother would have company and she'd buy dessert and she'd have to hide it because I would go find it and eat the entire cake. She would even put it in the freezer to hide it from me, and I would go find it and eat an entire frozen cake. And so she, I would sneak it when no one was looking. I would, it was craziness. But it's because I was in a lot of emotional pain. That's the bottom line that we need to really realize. Emotional pain and skewed false beliefs that are not helpful are going to cause an emotional reaction. If you have certain thoughts about yourself, ideas about yourself, whether they were given to you, whether you picked them up along your journey of life, maybe you had a relationship later in life that was not a healthy one for you, and you started to buy into the things that were happening and the things you were being told. I've had some, really bad, I call it bad boyfriend syndrome. I've had some bad relationships that were really, they were ugly. And I started to believe what I was being told. And eventually it caused me to feel very depressed and upset all the time, and just feeling really small. And I've had to work on these things, you guys. I've had to work on them in order to heal. It doesn't just magically go away. I want to impress that upon you, because people come to me all the time and they say, well, I've been working on myself for 20, 30 years, but nothing's changing. Well, it's not, I don't want to say to you, it's not that you've done anything wrong. It's that you haven't gone deep enough. or you've probably missed one piece of the puzzle. When I work with people in my programs or privately, there's 3 areas that I cover, and you have to cover all 3. If you leave out one, you will most likely either get temporary results or no results. So we have to cover 3 areas. 1, the thinking mind. We have to examine the beliefs and release the beliefs, the ideas, the thoughts that are not working for you. They're working against you. And they're helping create the very thing that you don't even want. Now, for example, we know from science that we're thinking, you ready for this? 60,000 thoughts a day is the average number of thoughts that a person has. So if you are thinking 60,000 thoughts and the majority of those are negative about yourself, thoughts are a creative force. Thoughts become things. I want you to write that down. Thoughts become things. And over the next 24 hours, I want to give you your first homework assignment. I want you to set a timer, please. And every hour, once an hour, it's just for one day. You can do this for one day. Every hour when that timer goes off, I want you to stop and ask yourself, is what I was just thinking, if my thoughts could manifest instantly, is what I was just thinking about what I would want to show up in my life? All right, so the alarm goes off every 60 minutes and you stop everything, and I want you to have a notebook and I want you to write down what you were just thinking and ask yourself, is what I was just thinking something that I would want to manifest instantly? Or was it a thought about myself or about my life or about my health or about any area of my life that was going in the direction of what I don't want? Does everybody get that? Type yes, give me a hands up, give me some hearts if you're following me. All right? All right, good. It sounds like you're getting it. Good, good, good. Sheila, hi Sheila. So good to see you guys, Nancy, Bev. So Lillian, hi Lillian. Seth, hello Seth. Much love to you. So glad you're here. So the next piece of the puzzle is, okay, and then there's a question, what do we do with a list of thoughts? So good question, right? So I want you to first notice what you're thinking and recognize you have the power of choice to continue that thought or to drop that thought. You want to ask yourself, first of all, where did I get that thought? Did someone ever in my life say that to me? Did I learn to think that way? Where did I get that thought? All right, that's number 1. Number 2, oops, sorry, my alarm is going off to remind me to do the meditation. All right, who is in charge of my thinking? I want you to answer that question right now. Who's in charge of your thinking? Who? We are generating our thoughts. So here's what I want you to do. I want everyone to pick up a pen or a pencil right now. I don't have one handy. Let me grab my hands up. I want you to grab a pen or a pencil, and I want you to ask yourself right now, are you able to drop this? Are you able to drop the pen or the pencil? And if you are, I want you to drop it. Just drop it to the floor or the chair or to your lap. Could everyone do that? Anyone, could you do that? I bet you could. So I want you to pick it up again. And thank you, Nancy. And I want you to drop it again. Drop it. Just drop that pen. One more time, drop the pen. And one more time, just for good measure, pick up the pen, hold it in your hand, and drop the pen. All right, I'm getting the hands up. So you were able to do this, right? Guess what? Here's the key. Listen closely. Your thoughts are like the pen. You can drop any thought instantly if if one thing and one thing only, if you are willing to drop it. You don't need to analyze it. You don't need to spend 10 years trying to fix it. You need to be willing to drop it, drop it, drop it. And tell yourself the truth. What would you tell someone you loved about themselves? What would you like to hear that you never heard? What do you need to hear in that moment? What would you like to manifest instantly? That's what you switch it. You flip it. You drop it and you flip it. And you and only you can do this if you're willing. It's not about how, it's not difficult. It doesn't take a long time. It takes one thing and one thing only. Pick it up, own it, drop it, and flip it. Okay, everybody with me? I want to move on quickly here. So this is what I teach in my pain-free living program, by the way, only I have time to go deeper and teach you a lot more. I cannot cram all of a 6-week program into an hour, but I'm going to give you a taste of this so you can get going and start moving this in your life. The peace that you're looking for, the self-love, the self-care, it's never too late to reparent yourself, all right? Write that down, please. It's never too late to reparent yourself. You cannot go back and change the past. I wish we could. You can't change it. You can't change something that happened 2 seconds ago. It's over. Once I accepted that and I quit being pissed off and blaming my parents, blaming the past, blaming whatever, whoever, whatever institutions, everything. I was blaming everybody and everything. And that's why I was stuck. Ask yourself, are you stuck in the blame game? Because I promise you, the blame game keeps you stuck. You cannot move forward if you're blaming the past. The only solution is exactly that. It's to get right away focused in the solution and be willing to do what it takes to heal. If you're with me, raise your hand, give me a thumbs up, give me some hearts on Facebook. I'm going to say that again. You cannot change the past. It is what it is. You can learn from it. You can ask yourself what deep learning. There's so many tools I could teach you about this, but I don't have time to give you all of them today. So, I'm getting a question here. Well, can't you reframe the past? Yes, you can, but I don't have time to give you everything that's in my knowledge bank about this. So I'm giving you the key things. Sitting and reframing the past probably in many cases will not change a thing. It's great, there's nothing wrong with it, but if you want to change in the here and now, you have to be willing to do what it takes in the here and now, stop the blame game and get into the solution. And the solution is to change the thought by dropping it and giving yourself love and changing your self-talk and actually giving to yourself what you didn't get in the past. And healing that child that's probably still hurting, even if you're 75 years old. Now, a lot of you, look, there's so many components. If you're sitting all day, the body needs to move. There's physical aspects to weight, yes, but most people only focus on the physical, on what they're eating and on their exercise and activity level. That's like the least of it. The emotional pain is the depth. And the emotions are linked to the thinking. I really want you to get this connection. The thoughts, the beliefs, the ideas you have about yourself, about your life, about your body, they generate an emotional reaction. Okay, I'm going to say that again. It bears repeating. The thoughts you have been given or that you choose to think about yourself, your body, your life, your health, your weight, or food, the thoughts you have about your food, they create an emotional reaction and they are linked together like this. So if you don't change them, nothing changes. I was terrified of food. I gave all my power away to food. I would sit down to eat and literally feel petrified inside because I was so scared of food. Food doesn't have that kind of power. I gave it the power. The truth is, everything is consciousness. Everything is what you believe to be true. You could be so in love with food and so grateful for it that every food would act as a healing for you. You could sit down and appreciate the colors of the food. This is your next assignment. If food is not your friend, when you sit down to eat, I want you to look at that food. And I want you to, now I'm assuming, although you could do this with anything, I am assuming you're eating or trying to eat healthy, live, whole, fresh foods with life force energy, okay? Now, when you really become a master, you could probably do this with Twinkies, but I'm really doubting that anyone's there yet. So I want you to do this with what you know your body needs: fresh, whole foods with life force energy in them. And what I want you to do is I want you to look at that food. For example, let's say you're eating a salad or chicken, for example. I want you to look at it, and I want you to look at the colors, the textures. I want you to think about that somebody took the time that you don't even know to grow the food, to nourish it. It's containing the sunlight, the fresh air, the nutrients from the soil, from our beautiful Mother Earth, and that somebody tended the vegetables every day, watered it, gave it what it needed so that they would grow. Then they had to pick the vegetables, they had to prepare them, they had to get them to, they had to prepare it so it could be shipped somewhere, unless you're eating something locally from your neighborhood farmer's market. I mean, there's a lot that goes into every single drop of food. And if you start really thinking about all the people and the love and the time and the energy, and you start being grateful for what you are witnessing and recognize, and here's the biggie, the food laid down its life to nourish you. That's the truth. The food laid down its life, gave up its life to nourish you. Wow. When I first got that, you can feel nothing but gratitude when you recognize the interconnection of all life, and that life force is willing to be there for you and support you and nourish you in that way. I want you to think about that deeper when you have more time, and start to appreciate your food. And if you can't, then find the foods that you can appreciate. If you're not able to appreciate the foods that you have, I want you to find foods that you can appreciate. Find one thing you can appreciate about it. That alone is going to affect your digestion, your elimination, your assimilation. You can't, people that tell me, somebody wrote in about SIBO and leaky gut, and I'm not a doctor, okay? I don't treat symptoms, and none of this is considered to be medicine. I'm not giving you medical advice. But what I will tell you is that the dis-ease, the symptoms that we carry, reflect our beliefs and our emotions as well. And if we can't take in nourishment, whether it's from lack of love or non-appreciation, or we don't feel we deserve, we will not assimilate the foods we eat, which can show up as things like leaky gut. So it can show up as food sensitivities, things like that, our thoughts about it. And I know for a fact, I used to be so afraid of certain foods that I would feel physically, I would sweat and feel my heart rate speed up just by looking at it. I didn't even have to eat it. So the interconnection we have with all life is stronger than you may recognize. You're a very powerful being. All right, so people are saying, I started that. I eat like that, but nighttime comes and I eat all night long until bedtime, and then chips and ice cream. That's okay. I'll talk about that in a second. Satara is saying she started to bless the food and the chain of abundance of all life. Yes, and is saying that helped me so much. Good, I'm so glad. And yeah, if you're hearing me, if you're benefiting, then definitely let me know. Does this mean you may not be receptive to love? That's exactly what I mean, because food is love in form. Everything you see in the physical world that you're taking in is either love or fear. And it's often based on your interpretation. And so the food may be pure love in form, but how you think about it and how you feel about it will shift the vibration of it into a lower vibration of either fear or anger or shame or guilt or something, a lower vibration. And so if you really want to have health, you have to have a high vibration, a joyful, free, peaceful vibration. It's exactly why we're having trouble in the world today. Everything is a spiritual malady, everything. And it really does often boil down to this lack of self-love. Because see, if you, and the misunderstanding that we are all one, if you knew you were one with everything and everyone, you would never hate another person. You would never hate any food. You would never hate. You would never commit one act of violence or harm. You wouldn't even think a harmful thought. Now that's a tall order. But the truth is, if you really knew that when you harm someone else, even when you think badly about someone else, you're actually doing that to yourself, you would not do that. If you really knew who you were, if you really knew you are a spiritual being having a human experience. And that's why I really feel and think that, and I feel my greatest purpose is to help people recognize that we have a spiritual malady. We have a spiritual problem going on, whether it's weight, food, war, crime, violence, racism. It's all a spiritual solution that's needed. And it is based on love. Love of me makes me love you. Respecting myself and knowing we are one, that makes me respect you. I would never think to do otherwise. Because, and it's the same with food. I want you to understand this. Food is a being. It's a living food is a living being that comes out of the living planet of Earth. We're talking about life, precious, sacred life. Why would you want to harm that? Why would you judge that? Why would you believe it's bad or not be able to take it in? Only because you don't love yourself. And that's not your fault. You probably got that belief system installed a long time ago. But the point is, it's time to pick it up, drop it, and change it and get into the solution. And start giving yourself what nobody gave you or what you know you need. So start talking to yourself differently, number one. Change your thoughts. Set the timer. Recognize the thoughts that are coming up every 60 minutes. Write them down and ask yourself, is this a loving act to myself? Would I even say this to somebody I really loved? Would I want that for someone I really loved? Those of you that have children, would you want the thoughts in your head for your children? Would you say that to someone you really, really loved? And if not, drop it. Drop it. Change it. Start changing the self-talk, and then you'll find the emotions start changing as well. The feelings follow the actions. Please write that down. Feelings follow the actions. You are not going to feel differently until you take different actions, different words, different thoughts, and different choices. And if you're willing, you just do it. You just do it because you're willing. And the feelings will follow. If you get up and you start talking to yourself differently, you will begin to feel different, probably quicker than you think. Now, also, and this is what my real specialty is, as most of you know, the high-speed healing method, working in the biofield that surrounds the body. This field imprinted everything that's ever happened to you. And these imprints carry the disturbances. They're in your field. And so the quickest way to release these disturbances is for someone like myself to work energetically to clear your field. And it's often a magic wand for some people, but usually what I've found over the years, and I've been doing this for many years, I've literally worked with tens of thousands of people in 150 countries, people of all types, race, religion, beliefs, you name it. They're from everywhere. I've 150 countries. And to me, that's the most thrilling thing in the world, because what I've learned is that underneath the skin, we're all very similar, and we all respond. We're all imprinting our life experiences, and they can all be released if we change our thinking, change our emotions, and get the help we need in the energy field, in the biofield. And it can happen rapidly. It's usually easier than you think and faster than you think. So this is what I love to do all the time. And if you haven't checked it out yet, I'd love for you to check out my Pain-Free Living program, where you receive these healing sessions live. There's nothing like it. Some of you have experienced, even from a short demo on free calls and interviews that I do all the time, you've written to me, you tell me that your pain releases. And it does. And it can sound too good to be true. I get it. I'm still blown away by the results, but it's very true. And it's based on science. All of what I'm teaching you today is based on things like neuroscience, physics, quantum physics. This is not something I'm making up. The biofield is an actual field classified in physics and given the name by the National Institute of Health in 1992. This is an actual field. You can Google biofield science. There's a whole lot of research and information about it. And it's powerful, okay? So there's a lot of ways we can get into the solution. And again, I can't share everything in one fell swoop, but we can learn to repattern the thinking. We know that the brain is plastic. It's malleable, it's changeable. And I will say to you, if you do not change your thoughts about yourself, you will keep recreating the same body that you've always had. If you keep the same image you have about yourself, if you keep looking in the mirror and only seeing what you see and going, damn, I hate that, you're ugly, whatever you're saying to yourself about yourself, you're going to keep bringing it back into physical form, because your thoughts are creative. Thoughts become things. You have to believe it before you see it. You have to start talking about it in a different way, about yourself, about your body, in a different way before it shows up. In fact, something important I forgot to say. You see, the body and everything in the physical world is the effect, not the cause. It's the effect of your thinking, your emotions. The subtle level of energy, which is what thoughts and emotions are made of, that's the original cause. And the effect is the body. So how you've been thinking about yourself on a day-to-day, moment-by-moment basis is what shows up in the physical. So the physical is the last place anything shows up. Now, Tammy's saying, I'm afraid I have negative subconscious beliefs. Well, you probably do, but here's the deal. Your body tells you what your subconscious beliefs are. Your body tells you, and your life tells you. Your health tells you, your finances tell you what your negative beliefs are. And then you deal with them. You let me teach you. You do the things I'm suggesting. Don't get all caught up in, I'm a victim of my subconscious mind. You're not. Your subconscious mind is showing up in your physical world right now. Do not let that idea, it's just a belief, do not let that scare you. Deal with what's showing up. And unless you're in love with your body in every area of your life, that's telling you what your beliefs are. And if you feel out of control in any area of your life or your health, it's a sign you think you're a victim. And again, there's no judgment. It's just showing you the truth. You feel like you're a victim and there's something or someone that has power over you, which is not true. It might seem like that and feel like that, and it may have been like that when you were little. But see, that's what has to change. And that's why I want to help you, because I was like that. I always thought I was a victim and you were doing it to me. And if you would change, or if that would change, or if this thing would change, or if he was different, or if I had more money, or if I had less weight, I'd be happy. And it couldn't be further from the truth. The power is in here, in here, in here. And it's a choice, and we have to develop and cultivate and really work on raising our consciousness if we ever want the physical reality to be different. All right, so the time is ticking. So what I want to do next today, who's resonating with this? Who's with me? Let me see, get some feedback here. Give me a hands up, some yeses in the chat, some hearts and yeses and thumbs up on Facebook. And I'm going to go into the meditation next. Thank you. Great. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, I'm so glad. Exactly what I needed to hear tonight. Thank you. I'm so happy. You have no idea. That's music to my ears. And you know what? It does apply to everything. What I said tonight, we're talking about food, but the truth is what I shared tonight could also be flipped and be relevant for money, for physical pain, for relationships, for life out there, for work. It's relevant to everything. This is not just about weight. Weight is one symptom, and the underlying root of everything we talked about tonight, if you have a problem in another area, it's probably similar. And how we do one thing is usually how we do everything. So you want to take a look at that as well. And if you have blind spots, that's where you want to let me help you. I love helping people bust through their blind spots. Those of you who are, if your work is affecting your relationships, if you're not dating, if you're not going out there because you don't feel good about your body, if you've tried everything and you're not losing weight, if it's affecting your work, please don't let this stop you. Don't be afraid to take the next step and do something different. And don't assume that there's something wrong with you. No, it's just you haven't gone deep enough. No one has asked you the right questions to help you go deep enough. And you may not have done the high-speed healing. That's really what I would recommend as the first step as well, is if you change your self-talk and you release these emotions and you do high-speed healing and you do all three, that's what I've learned, is you do all three. There's nowhere else to look. There's nowhere else to look. Do you realize how profound that is? It's either your blind spot, your stuck point is either in your mind, in your emotions that you don't know you have, and you're trying to soothe them with food, and it's in your energy field. And so if you clear the damaging thoughts and you find and clear the damaging emotions and release them, and you let me help you clear the energy field, there's nowhere else to go. You will clear, you will release, you will change. So people are telling me they don't have weight issues, but very glad they attended. I'm so glad, because this applies to everything and anything. So interesting, isn't it? Yes, it is. Yeah. And that's why don't get discouraged no matter what your problem, what your pain point is. You're not stuck. I know you feel stuck, but you're not stuck. You just haven't seen the big picture. You're looking through a teeny tiny window like this, and you haven't seen the full view. So let me keep showing you the full view. Right? So you keep coming back to High Speed Healing Wednesdays. And if you really want to go deep, this week I decided I am putting my Pain-Free Living Program e-course half off. I decided, everybody's so challenged right now and is starving for help. So my e-course is half off. I'll post the link. And Colin, oops, looks like Facebook may be having a video issue. Shoot, I hope not. No, maybe it's still there. Colin, if you're on Facebook helping me there, if you could post the link to that I'm just going to give you right now, and I'll post it in the comments here in the chat. Let's see here, to everyone. It's www. If you want to read more about the Pain-Free Living program and see if it's a fit for you, it's www.internationalcpi.com/PFLP. Stands for Pain-Free Living Program. internationalcpi.com/PFLP. And if you would like the coupon code, you need to put, when you go to the checkout to purchase the, enroll in the Pain-Free Living program, the e-course, the virtual course, you put in the coupon code HALF OFF. You spell it out, HALFOFF. And it's all capital letters, and it has to be capital letters for it to work. But if you put that in the coupon code box at the checkout, you're going to get the entire 8-week virtual e-course for half off. And the other special offer is if you enroll in the live program, which is where you'll get the live high-speed healing sessions for 6 weeks with me, and you'll be able to ask me questions and let me help you through the blind spots. If you enroll in that program, you'll get the entire e-course free. So I'm trying to twist your arm on purpose because I know that people get the best results from both the e-course and the live group healing sessions when you do them together. Now the e-course is really good. It's proven, we've tested it, it's proven to work. So do what's best for you. But if you do the e-course, you can get it half off. And if you do both the e-course and the live healing sessions with Q&A, you get the entire e-course free anyway. So let me know if you have any questions. You can email us or post your questions on Facebook, and I'm more than happy to help you go further. I know these times are intense, and a lot of people are really stepping up and going, you know, I want to heal. I want to be happier. I deserve joy. I want the love. We just have to, nothing's blocked from you. We have to clear out the past. We have to clear out all this false, heavy, low vibrational disturbance. And we've all collected it. You know, I joke about it, but it's like gathering lint. You're wearing black clothes and you're gathering lint your whole life. You go through life and that experience sticks and that experience sticks and this one sticks. And before you know it, you're covered in lint and you don't recognize that you need to clear that off. That you're not lacking anything. You're just covered in a fog bank of lint. And once you get it off, the joy, you're going to find the joy, the peace, the love, it's there inside you. And it was there all along. And unfortunately, it got covered over. So my job is to help you uncover it. You don't need a thing. You need to uncover and release the damaging lint that covered over the real you. The real you, I promise you. And I will hold the knowing for you until you get it yourself. The real you is love, is a sacred, precious being. You always were, you are now, and you always will be. So let's go into a meditation, and hopefully today every one of you will have the experience of this. So no driving, no operating equipment or machinery. Only continue with the meditation if you're in a safe place and you're sitting or lying down. Oh my God, it's 555. How beautiful is that? So close your eyes, and I want you to go either lying down on your back or sitting comfortably, and take everything off your lap and shut off your phone. And here we go. I'd like you to close your beautiful eyes. And I'd like you to take a soft, gentle, loving breath in through your nose. Breathe in now. And now open your mouth and let out a sigh, like a sigh of relief. And I want you to hear your sound, your own sound. Again, relax your low belly. And draw the breath up into your beautiful heart area. And now open your mouth and let out a sigh. Let out the past. Let it go. Again, breathe from the belly, up, up, up into your heart. Put your attention and your awareness on your heart area. As you exhale, keep your attention and your awareness on your heart area. And I want you to breathe right into your heart. Imagine there's a door right in the center of your heart, and I want you to open the door to your heart. And I'd like you to explore the inside of your heart area. What do you feel in your heart? What do you notice in your heart? Explore that. There's no right or wrong. Notice any images, any colors, any sensations, any pain, any thoughts that come up or emotions that come up. And just notice what you notice in your heart. You can't do it wrong. There is no wrong. Even if you think you're making it up, just notice what you notice in your heart. Turn your palms up in a gesture of receiving, of being open. And now imagine a doorway at the top of your head that opens to higher wisdom. Imagine that doorway to the universe, to the cosmos, to God, to the divine mind, to whatever, to your angels, to whatever you think is greater than your personality. Call it whatever you like. Open the door to that now. And I'd like you to, with the mind of a child who's curious and open, just be open to the possibility that today you receive guidance, clarity, wisdom reveals itself to you right here and now. And say to yourself, set an intention for yourself today. Set an intention right now. It may be you intend to release the root cause of your weight pain. You can, whatever intention comes to you is right for you today. I'd like you to set that intention right now. Maybe it's today, from this moment on, I love and respect myself and all others exactly the way I am. Set an intention that feels right for you today. And now, with your eyes closed, I'd like you to go back in time to a moment in time where you think perhaps, or maybe you know, maybe you remember a time where you may have received a message about your body, or you may have been hurt by someone, or you may have taken on a negative message about your weight, your body. And if weight is not your issue, you can switch this to any type of pain you're going through today. Think back to a time in your past where you may have imprinted a disturbance, a belief, an emotional pain that's affecting your body image, how you feel about your body, how you look. Maybe it's maybe you recall where you started to eat for emotional reasons, to cover up the pain or the fear. I'd like you to allow that memory to come up into your mind now, and just breathe right into it. And as it comes up, I want you to feel and look at it and listen to it. It's just a memory, and I want you to really let it come up and feel whatever feelings come up about it. And allow it to come up so that it can release. Notice how you feel. Notice who's in this inner movie. Even if you can't picture it, maybe you have an idea of this memory, or you can imagine it. I want you to imagine it in whatever way you imagine and allow it to come up. In fact, I want you to ask it to come up. I want you to ask yourself now, quietly to yourself, what can I learn from this? What can I learn from this experience? Just listen to the first thoughts that pop into your head. Maybe you have thoughts, maybe there's an image or a symbol, maybe you just know the answer. What can I learn from this experience? Breathe, stay calm, and listen. Now, next, I want you to ask your inner self, what do I still need as a result of this experience? What do I need today that would help me heal from this experience? Now listen to the first thoughts that come into your mind. What do I need to help me heal from this experience? Next, I want you to ask yourself, how can I begin to give myself what I need starting now? What could I do right now? What can I do right now to start giving myself what I need in order to heal? Is it something you can start to say to yourself? Is it something you can actually do? Is it something you can ask someone for help with? What does your inner being tell you that it needs in order to heal? Listen now. Allow it to come up. Next, I want you to take a snapshot, a photograph of that painful experience from the past that you believe affected your health, your body, your weight, your self-image, your self-esteem, or any other area of your life. I want you to take a photograph of it. And I want you to take that photograph and imagine, I'm going to ask you to use your imagination now. I want you to imagine that photograph is inside of a balloon, a helium balloon. Picture, imagine in whatever way you imagine that photograph that represents your painful past experience. And I want you to put it in a balloon right now. And I want you to imagine yourself going outside right now, going outdoors, holding the string of that balloon. And I'm going to count to 3. And on the count of 3, I want you to let go of the string and release that balloon. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Let go and release the balloon, which takes with it the entire experience. And I want you to imagine that balloon lifting up, up, up into space, higher and higher and higher. And it's moving behind you, up high and behind you. Watch it. Higher and higher and higher and further back behind you. And it keeps going higher and further away behind you. And higher, even higher. And it's getting smaller, teeny tiny. And it's moving way, way back behind you. You can barely see it now at all. And I want you to stay with this until it is completely out of sight. And you cannot imagine it, see it any longer. Take a few seconds now for this. Until it's completely gone. All right. Now, right here and right now, bring your awareness back into your beautiful heart. And in your mind's eye, I want you to imagine a young version of yourself is sitting right across from you. A younger you, 5, 6, 4 years old, a younger version of you. And I want you to look at that younger version of you. I want you to really look and see how precious he or she is. Look the younger version of you in the eye and say to him or her, I love you. You are precious, and I am here for you. And I will never, ever leave you. I love you. I value you. You are with me always. And notice what happens when you say that, and say it out loud to the younger you. I love you. You are precious. I will never abandon you or leave you. I am here for you. I love you. Spend a minute in silence with the younger you. Allow any feelings to come up. Notice what happens. Know that you can return here and spend time with your precious younger you anytime you wish. And in fact, set the intention right now that for the next 30 days minimum, that every day you're going to check in and spend even just 2 minutes with that younger, precious child that's within you, and see how he or she is feeling, doing what he or she needs. And listen deeply. When you learn to listen deeply to yourself and learn to give and trust and respect and love that deeper self, you will find your life change. Take a deep breath now, in through your nose. And let out a big sigh, an audible sigh, and let go of everything we've just done, everything we've talked about. Let it all go. Again, take a deep, slow breath all the way in and up. And let out a beautiful sigh. And now start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Stretch your arms overhead. Take a deep breath in and come all the way back now. Wide awake, alert, refreshed, and relaxed. And slowly, gently open your beautiful eyes and come all the way back. Oh, wow, my friends. I could feel that. Could you feel that? All right. Christy said that was incredible. Thank you. You are so welcome. I'm glad. I'd love to hear your comments. Thank you, Sitara. Your questions for me. I may not be able to answer them all tonight, but I need to know what else and how else I can help you on these calls. So you're so welcome, Irina. Irina says, thank you so much. That was powerful. Good. Thank you all of the group too. Yes, you see, there's power doing this in a group. And oh, you're welcome, Meg. Tammy, so glad you appreciated that. Good. The group, your energy really matters when we do a meditation like this, or the one we're doing tomorrow, especially. We're going to set a group intention tomorrow and send healing energy, not to just ourselves, but to everyone on the planet. So please join me tomorrow. Check your email first thing early in the morning about that. These are very powerful, and they, you know, we can use this tool to, yes, relax, Lori, but also to literally send healing, vibrational information to everyone who's not as awake. There are a lot of people who are not on calls like this. They don't even know this type of thing exists. And because we are literally all one, and we're all in an interconnected field, the people who are unconscious, they're angry, they're bitter, they're hurting, they're in pain, and they don't know how to help themselves, they will actually be able to receive, because they're part of the collective consciousness as well. Your work doing something like this, your meditation, will affect people who don't even know what meditation is. It's that powerful. Yeah, Dawn, exactly. Big wow. And great, Bev. I hope you'll be there tomorrow. Thank you. I'm so glad. And Michelle, thanks for being here today. And Sandra, and you kind of fell asleep. Yeah, you will go into a deep, often what we know as a theta brainwave state. And the theta state is where the self-healing mechanism kicks in. It's what happens when you're in deep REM sleep. It's why we need sleep, because the body kicks into repair mode. And so if you've been having trouble sleeping, this is a great thing to do. And oh, great, Deborah from Australia. So glad you were here. And thank you, Lillian. And so meditation and deep healing work like this is so important if you're not sleeping well at night. It will activate the right side of your brain, and that will help bring in we call it the rest and digest. It stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is in charge of your digestion. Those of you with food sensitivities, food allergies, food gut pain, this is going to help. I've had so many people start to practice these tools and calm the gut down. I can speak for myself. My stomach, I'm very sensitive in the gut, always have been. And when I don't meditate, I feel it and my gut gets off. And so if you want to learn to release emotions, and again, that's your emotional center. You see, your gut is a key that you're probably not releasing emotions. Anne is asking if there will be a replay. Yes, there will be a replay sent out hopefully tomorrow, usually within 24 hours. Sometimes it takes us 48 because sometimes Zoom is slow to process because right now so many people are on Zoom. It used to just take a few hours and now sometimes it's a day or two. So keep an eye out for the replay. We will send everybody who's enrolled and sent us, who signed up will get the replay. Check your spam folder. Make sure that you've added us to your contact list. It will come from contact@internationalcpi.com. Okay, we've been here a long time and you guys have stayed with me the whole time. I'm so honored, really. So honored. And please check out the Pain-Free Living program if you'd like to go deeper with me and have the luxury of time where I can really teach you the tools you need and go deeper. You're welcome, Marlene. Can we invite others to tomorrow's? You can. What I would ask you to do is ask them to sign up at if you want to invite other people to the High Speed Healing Wednesdays, send them to www.international, I'm typing the link in the chat, internationalcpi.com/high speed healing Wednesdays. That's where you want to send them. And then they can sign up and then they will get the emails and they'll get the announcement of the new topic each week. And I would greatly appreciate that everybody share this with everyone you know, and let's get the word out and spread this stuff around so we heal this darn planet and all the people on it and start having a better time around here. I've had enough of the pain and the problems, and I want to do my part. So do your part by sharing these types of calls, and let's bring back the bliss, the harmony, the healing, the health. Let's bring it back to planet Earth, to all people, all beings everywhere. And I will just say to you tonight, thank you. God bless you. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. All beings, animal kingdom included, plant kingdom, mineral kingdom, all beings everywhere be happy and free. And remember the spiritual nature of who we really are. I love you and thank you so much for allowing me to share with you. Thank you. It helps me, by the way. The gift is in the giving, so thank you for allowing me to share with you. I love each and every one of you, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone. Much love.